Good morning, guys. It's your boy Shayness, and we are in Riverside County in California. And as you can see behind me, I am at a very special shop. It's called Type 0 Wrkz, and the reason why we're here is actually because we're gonna get something special done to the end line today. I'm sure you could probably hear it, and it's actually getting pulled in right now as we speak. So let's see what special goodies we have in store today. So a little behind the scenes of the work. So obviously hood popped because things have to be measured, and then of course the supports for these splitter rods have to be installed. So as you can see, this is just the beginning of a process, but we're in the shop, so I figured I'd at least show you. There's this really cool Miata right here. Try not to be super shaky because you know your boys doesn't have the steadiest hands. And you can see all the metal work back here. So everything is made in-house, which is super cool. I'm not gonna show everything in here, but of course you have some of the machinery, some of the tools needed, the sheet metal itself. And then one of the really cool things is that he ends up wrapping it in either a gloss black, so you have a nice black splitter, or there's also the 5D carbon option. And then of course, I'm pretty sure eventually options might arise, or if a member has something really custom they wanna do, you know, sky's the limit, I suppose, so long as you got deep pockets, right? All right, guys, so we're back again after the slight pause. You know, we've been cruising. You can see he's right there, the owner of the shop, and he's just taking pictures for his social media. I'm really excited. I've actually already seen it. Forgive the messy hair. This thing looks amazing. It honestly exceeded my expectations. It's, guys, oh my God, chef's kiss. You guys are gonna get to see it right now, so let's go to the front. Alright guys, so as you can see, the car's on the lift. I always like to obviously give you guys the nitty gritty of everything that I do to the vehicle. And so this is just kind of a review of that Type 0 custom splitter that I got done for the vehicle. As you can see, it's obviously standing the test of time. It is a quality product. I love, well, obviously I daily drive my car, so these splitter rods have seen better days. They are starting to corrode a bit, but I've had this on here for months now, and as you can see, with a little bit of cleaning, the splitter itself just still stands, right? The red is still shiny. Forgive my terrible cleaning job. And so, aside from me probably scraping it a few times by driving down some driveways, here it is in the flesh, right? And no issues there. The only feedback that I will give you that is a little bit of annoying, and again, for transparency, is this is an actual splitter. It's meant to be functional, meaning that this slab of metal right here goes all the way back. But the problem with that is that because it is literally covering all that space, it is covering the ports where you would normally reach underneath the engine bay to do like your oil change. So if you do your own oil change, you will more than likely have to remove the splitter consistently, often, unless you want to somehow let oil run down the splitter itself. If you go to a dealership, my dealership was really cool about it, but other dealerships might give you crap about it and obviously not like the extra work that they have to go through just to be able to reach the oil filter and obviously your drain plug. So, and I'll go down here real quick to show you. As you can see, it's a full splitter covering everything. So again, that's literally the only complaint. Now, because this is a custom job and obviously this is something that's one-off, it is difficult for the manufacturer. Obviously this is one person doing all this work. It would be difficult for them to essentially come up with something on the fly to make sure that, you know, they can make ports for that. I mean, obviously it is something that can be done, but as it's meant to be completely functional, I understand, you know, the reason why they wouldn't have done like a big gap within the actual splitter itself to make sure to cover those things. So take that for what you will. I'll go ahead and just do a really quick comparison to the Veloster splitter slash lip that we installed on the Veloster in a prior video. Big difference is that while that is meant to be a splitter, it doesn't cover the full length of the bumper. I'm sure that the problem would have been the same, but realistically, a lot of companies that do these particular parts they're not actually meant for like performance, or they're not actually meant for the actual use. It's more of a style thing. Another thing to note based off of that is that most people that aren't paying attention would say that rod splitters are kind of gimmicky because obviously they normally attach to a bumper. But as you can see here, this was installed actually behind the bumper. So these are actually supports that are functional. They're bolted to the actual crossbar behind the bumper, the collision bar, and then pointing out from underneath the bumper, so it's actual support. It's not latched onto any part of the bumper. It's not latched onto plastic. It's metal, as you can hear. It's actually attached properly the way you would want it. So again, fully functional, but I digress. You're gonna have to make sacrifices places when you do things like this. So for those of you that wanted to be like, oh, it's so dumb, you have rod splitters, that's dumb, it's so ricey because it's bolted to the bumper, it's all functional. Not these. All in all, I like the product. Obviously, like, I'm really happy with it. I say it's well worth it. The last asterisk for this particular review is that just keep in mind it is one person doing this. So I have had some feedback that sometimes some people have had to wait quite a bit of time or might experience delay in response for those that are trying to get something made for their vehicle. It's hard running a business when you're the one person that runs the social media, you run the actual production, the appointments, just everything. Like a one-man operation is very difficult. While it's easy to criticize, especially when some of us want our parts right away, we get impatient. You also have to have a little bit of understanding. With that being said, communication is obviously key. I had no problems communicating with this particular person. So hopefully, if you guys are interested, whether it's this car or any other car, hopefully you also don't run into those issues. But again, I always like to give the asterisk that when one person does everything, when it's not a large company, you have to be very understanding of those situations. But guys, that wraps up for this particular review. Sorry for talking. Wanted to obviously address the points that some of you might be interested in. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Make sure to obviously comment down below, give me your feedback. And thanks for watching this video. As always, thanks for all the love and support. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.